Imagine a royal family feud so dramatic it could be a blockbuster movie. This isn't The Crown, it's real life. A deep rift has split the British royal family, with King Charles blocking his son, Prince Harry. Yes, it's like social media blocking from the oldest monarchies in the world. Sound dramatic? Well, buckle up, because this story takes us deep into hurt, betrayal, and shocking actions. Let's rewind to understand how we got here. Tensions between Prince Harry and his father, King Charles, have been brewing for some time. But did anyone see this level of estrangement coming? To grasp the weight of this royal fallout, we need to go back to when Harry and Meghan Markle announced they were stepping down from royal duties. You might remember that announcement. It was like the world had tilted off its axis for royal watchers everywhere. The headlines were ablaze, the memes were flying, and everyone had an opinion on Megxit. For the royals, this was no laughing matter. Fast forward to now, and it seems that what was once an agree-to-disagree situation has turned into a cold, hard silence. And now, the ultimate act of disconnection, King Charles reportedly blocking his own son. Yes, blocking. Can you imagine? But why? What was it that led Charles to officially sever this digital connection? What exactly was Harry's shocking act that pushed the monarch to this decision? Well, dear reader, we're about to dive deep into that. At the heart of this all-time low moment lies a single act, one that left King Charles not just upset but deeply hurt and shocked by his youngest son's choices. So, what happened? Did Harry leak family secrets? Give an explosive interview? Or perhaps it was something even more personal? While the details are still emerging, it appears that this breaking point involves a series of actions Harry took that were perceived as direct attacks on the institution of the monarchy. His ongoing public interviews, candid revelations about royal life, and, most notably, his tell-all memoir Spare, seem to have pushed King Charles to his limit. In particular, sources claim that a private conversation between Harry and Charles was leaked to the press. This betrayal of trust, on top of the mounting public tension, may have been the final straw for King Charles. Imagine the heartache of seeing family secrets and private exchanges splashed across headlines, debated on talk shows, and tweeted about by the world. Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Charles is known for being a figure who believes in reconciliation and family unity, so for him to take such a drastic step as blocking his own son suggests just how hurt and shocked he must have been by these actions. But hold on. There's more to this story than just a father feeling betrayed. Let's explore the bigger picture. Being a monarch isn't just about waving to crowds and cutting ribbons. For King Charles, the weight of the crown has come with personal sacrifice and a lifetime of navigating family drama. It's important to remember that this isn't the first time Charles has faced scandal within his family. Charles, once the rebellious heir himself, grew up under intense scrutiny. His marriage to Princess Diana, their highly publicized divorce, and Diana's tragic death all played out on the world stage. So, when we think about Charles' reaction to Harry's actions, it's crucial to understand the deep emotional wounds this man carries. Is it possible that Charles sees shades of his own painful past in the way Harry has stepped away from the royal family? Perhaps he feels history repeating itself, only this time, he's on the other side. The burdens of being king aren't just about public duty, they are intensely personal. So when Harry continued to air royal grievances in the public eye, it likely felt like a betrayal not just to the crown, but to the man who had, for better or worse, raised him. And here's the kicker. What happens when you've given your whole life to an institution, only to feel like your own son is trying to burn it to the ground? The million-dollar question on everyone's mind is, can this relationship be mended? Is there any hope for a father and son who seem to have reached an all-time low? History suggests that royal family feuds, no matter how dramatic, often cool over time. The British monarchy has weathered many storms before. Queen Elizabeth II herself had moments of tension with her children, yet she remained a symbol of unity until the end. But will King Charles follow the same path? Or are we seeing a new era, where the rift between father and son is too deep to heal? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. For reconciliation to happen, both parties will need to put in the work. And as much as we'd love to see a heartwarming reunion, the wounds here are deep. For Harry, this likely feels like a continuation of the isolation and lack of support he's spoken about in various interviews. And for Charles, this must feel like the ultimate act of rebellion. So, what happens next? Well, we can speculate all we want, but there's no denying that the future of this royal relationship is uncertain. Will they come together in time for a family event? Or will the chasm between them continue to grow? Okay, so maybe most of us aren't dealing with royal drama on a daily basis, or are we? But there's something incredibly relatable about the tension between King Charles and Prince Harry. At its core, this is a story about family, trust, and the painful fallout when relationships break down. Open communication is key. Whether you're a royal or not, the importance of communication in family dynamics can't be overstated. If Charles and Harry had sat down and hashed things out earlier, perhaps we wouldn't be seeing such public drama. The same goes for our own lives. Never underestimate the power of a good heart-to-heart conversation. Boundaries are sometimes necessary. While blocking family might seem extreme, there's a lesson here about boundaries. Sometimes, for the sake of mental and emotional well-being, you have to create distance, even if it's painful. Reconciliation takes time. If there's one thing history has shown us, it's that time has a way of healing old wounds. The road to reconciliation is rarely smooth, but it's never completely impossible. Give things time, and don't rush the healing process. So, where does this leave us? Is this the final chapter in the saga of Charles and Harry? Or is this just another dramatic twist in a story that will eventually lead to reconciliation? One thing's for sure, the world will be watching. As we continue to follow this royal drama, we can't help but hope for a resolution that brings some peace to both father and son. After all, family is complicated, whether you're royal or not. We turn to you, dear reader. What do you think? Is there hope for Charles and Harry to mend their relationship? Or have things gone too far? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because, just like the royals, we all have our own family stories, and maybe yours will offer a different perspective. If you've ever faced a family feud, what helped you find peace? Or maybe you're still in the thick of it. What's your next step? Let's keep the conversation going. Share your stories and advice below. After all, whether royal or not, we can all learn from each other's experiences. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into royal family drama, hit that share button and spread the conversation. Section 6. The public's role. Are we too invested in the royal family's drama? Before we dive deeper into the story of Charles and Harry, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Why are we, the public, so fascinated by royal drama? Let's face it, every time a new royal headline pops up, millions of us are right there, clicking away, eager for the latest scoop. But why? After all, we're talking about a family that's worlds apart from most of us. Yet, their stories, specifically the ones filled with conflict, seem to resonate deeply with people from all walks of life. Do we see ourselves in the royals' public fights? They face family issues just like us. They argue, misunderstand, and even block each other online. It sounds like we're not so different from them. But, does our interest in their conflicts cross a line? Are we too caught up in their personal struggles? Have we made their private pain public entertainment? There's a thin line between knowing what's happening and being too nosy. They are public figures, but they are also people with feelings. What do you think? Are we too invested in the royals' lives? Or is it just part of being famous? Let's dive deeper into this. The media plays a big role in the royal family's drama. The British press, and tabloids in particular, have a huge impact. They are like the invisible third party in the feud. The media turns the royals' private lives into public shows. This constant attention is part of their fame but also causes tension. Imagine being followed and criticized all the time. That's what Harry and Meghan faced. They've talked about how it affected their relationship. Harry's experience with the press reminded him of his mother's, leading him to step back from royal duties. Social media also adds to the drama. Everyone can share their opinions, sometimes harshly. This online criticism has made things worse for Harry and Meghan. Even the royals feel the emotional impact of public criticism. No one is immune to it. The media's stories can twist the truth. Was Charles really hurt by Harry's actions, or is it just exaggerated? It's hard to know what's real. Social media is a double-edged sword. It connects us but also amplifies drama. It gives everyone a platform to share their opinions. For the royals, social media has been interesting. Harry and Meghan used it to announce their departure, a modern move. But it also sparked a public feud. The blocking situation is also significant. Blocking someone is like slamming a door. When Charles blocked Harry, it was a big deal. It showed the world how we deal with boundaries. Setting boundaries is something we all do. But when it's your child and you're the king, it's different. The stakes are higher, and the world watches. So, the question is, will social media continue to fuel this fire, or will it somehow help bring them back together? Family feuds are as old as time. The current situation between Charles and Harry may seem dire, but history shows us that time can heal even the deepest wounds. Queen Elizabeth II had her own family tensions, like with her sister, Princess Margaret. Their lifestyles often clashed, but they eventually found a way to stay close until Margaret's passing. Prince Philip, the late Duke of Edinburgh, had a complicated relationship with Charles. Yet, in later years, the two seemed to reconcile. Charles often spoke fondly of his father in interviews. Could Charles and Harry find forgiveness? Will time soften the hurt feelings? Reconciliation is never easy, but relationships are rarely beyond repair. Emotions run high, and trust is broken. Yet, history teaches us that relationships can heal. What will it take for Charles and Harry to mend their relationship? Will it be a private conversation or a grand royal event? The royal rift is far from over, but there's hope for reconciliation. Family is complicated, but it's also the most important thing we have. The British monarchy, rooted in tradition, is still a family with its ups and downs. Let's hope Charles and Harry can heal their wounds and rebuild their relationship. As we follow the headlines, let's remember the humanity behind the crown. Let's hope Charles and Harry can find a way to reconcile. The world needs reminders that even in our darkest moments, there's always a path to reconciliation. What do you think about the future of King Charles and Prince Harry? Do you think there's hope for reconciliation, or have things gone too far? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to share this article with your friends and family. Royal drama or not, we all have something to learn from these stories. And who knows? Maybe your own experience could help someone else navigating their own family feud. Let's keep the conversation going.